This week, let's just begin by taking a nice, big, deep breath in together. Just breathe in, breathe in. I encourage you to go outside, keep breathing in, and let it all out. Go outside, get some nice crisp air into those nostrils, because that's how this week's review is gonna feel.
It's a Friday once again.
Hey, my fellow freaks, and welcome back to the channel. I hope you guys have had a good week. It is Valentine's Day. Well, not the day that I'm recording this, but the day this is coming out, it is Valentine's Day. So happy Valentine's Day. We have some decor right here with us. I wonder if you could see her better if I turned her off, though. I actually feel like you can see her better if I turn her off. So originally, I had a disturbing movie lined up for this week, and I'm gonna be honest, I was kind of dreading it because I feel like I've been watching a lot of heavier stuff lately, but I had it in my mind to do it until I realized that this Friday is Valentine's Day, and I'm just like, what the fuck are you thinking? You need to do a holiday to some people themed review, and you need to find a Valentine's Day based horror movie, and that is what I have done. So next week we'll do the disturbing movie that I originally planned for this week, but this week it is such a refreshing change of pace to be doing something normal. This is a normal movie. This is a normal Hollywood horror production. Of course I didn't watch any of the new shit. No, why would I watch something that just came out and review that? No, we're gonna watch something from 2001. That's the way we roll on the channel. And it is such a nice, relieving change of pace to everything that I've been covering basically since after Death Factory Bloodletting. Because it's just a normal movie. This one is a normal movie, and I haven't said the title yet. It is simply Valentine. We're reviewing Valentine from 2001, directed by Jamie Blanks. And I can't believe I'm saying it, but I am so happy that this week's review is just a simple, run-of-the-mill Hollywood slasher. I really enjoyed watching this movie, and also watching this movie several times. So before we get into it, if you're new here, hi, my name is STARGUTZZZ. Any crashing that you might hear going on in the background is my cats, and my reviews tend to be more of a discussion of moments or elements of the movie that I find are prominent, and less of a like telling you every single thing that happens, because I know there are some reviews out there that just tell you what happened in the movie. I kind of like to have more of a discussion with what's happening in it. So in other words, I try to stray away from spoilers as much as possible. Sometimes spoilers do appear only when they pertain to the discussion that's going on. Otherwise, I try to be as spoiler-free as possible. If you're interested in watching Valentine before the rest of this review, unfortunately, it's not streaming for free anywhere. I ended up just purchasing it through Amazon, but it's also available for rent through like YouTube and other normal rental means. And yes, there are other means to watch it that entail not spending money. I don't think I can influence you to do that on here, but if you do it. Also, before we get into it, if you end up liking this video, please give it a thumbs up. It's just a quick and easy way to help support this channel, and I appreciate it a lot. And if by the end of this video you end up deciding like, hey, I want to hear this chick ramble about more B-movies or disturbing media, or in this case, a slasher, consider hitting the subscribe button and also the bell notification so you can be updated anytime I make a new upload. Thank you to anybody who considers doing this, and let's go on with the rest of the review. In a whodunit mystery, 5 girls are stalked and killed by a man they believe to be a nerd they all rejected at a dance 13 years prior. With the help of Detective Vaughn, it's up to the group to find the killer's identity before everyone dies. And I did try to come up with some kind of like cheesy Valentine's Day thing to end that little summary with, but I couldn't, so I'm sorry. If you can think of one, put it in the comments. How should I have ended that? So outside of that summary, the movie is just your run-of-the-mill slasher. I'm gonna be honest, it's kind of just Scream with a Valentine's Day layover, but that doesn't mean that it's bad. I actually enjoyed watching this movie, but that's what you should take away from what it's actually about. It's just like, who is the killer? People are dying. There are suspicions of who the killer is, and you have to try and figure it out until the reveal at the end of it. It's just pink Scream. I feel like there are some people who could argue the basic plot of this is very copy and paste of other slashers, but I don't know. I feel like I still really enjoyed it and still found something of value to it. I thought that there were a lot of cool false leads that are threaded throughout the story. I'll get into it. This is just the summary. I'm just letting you know, like, there are multiple leads as who the killer could be, and even though you could argue this is just like a copy and paste of other slasher narratives, understandable, I see that. I do like the way that they go about doing this one, you know what I mean? But the very first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to Valentine is just like how much of a classic slasher it feels like. I mean, I've never heard of this movie. I think I forgot to mention that earlier, but I've never heard of this movie. I've never heard anyone talk about it. I didn't know it ever existed. And I'm gonna be honest, when I looked at the poster and watched the trailer, it didn't seem very promising.
He loves me.
It didn't seem like it was gonna be any good. I thought it was gonna be boring. I'm gonna be for real. This seems like it was gonna be such a just boring picture. I'm being honest with you guys. It felt like a real classic Y2K era slasher movie. I mean, it has the same vibes as something like Scream or Final Destination. I would even say like Bride of Chucky, Freddy vs. Jason, like that era of late 90s, early 2000s horror movie. It has the same exact quality and vibe as all of those movies. Hello, it is Editor Rachel here. I just want to include that I think part of this look that I keep kind of referring to as the Y2K slasher, a prominent feature of it I'm noticing as I am putting clips in their place while editing. Everyone is just beautiful. Every single actor and actress is just beautiful and glamorized. Like, I am going over Shelley's death scene right now, and she has highlighter on. Everyone in this movie is so gorgeous, and I think that is a prominent feature that is in the Y2K slasher. Does that make sense? I just wanted to add that. I don't know. And I honestly don't know why it's taken me this long to know this movie exists. Like, why have I never heard a single person mention the existence of this movie? It has everything in place to kind of be a classic slasher, and I'm gonna be upfront, I kind of think it needs that kind of attention. Now, how the slasher looks himself, okay, I'll be honest with you, I don't like the mask, I don't like the outfit. It's really goofy. Also, it's Valentine's Day, like, what could you have really done with it? So, of course they're gonna go with, like, a cherub Cupid mask, I get it. I don't know, I just wasn't a fan. I don't know. But then again, like, what are they to do? It's not like they have many options. Yeah, the way the slasher looks, it's not hitting. So I see it that way. Maybe that's why a lot of people don't pick this up as being a classic slasher movie. But I think it has everything else present to feel like one. The vibes of this movie are immaculate, okay? There's a lot of club scenes, and every single club scene feels like how I thought being adult would be when I was a kid. And the soundtrack to go along with these scenes, dude.
Hello again.
The soundtrack to this movie is so fucking good. 1 minute there's Marilyn Manson, I think there's some Deftones, there's Disturbed. The soundtrack for this movie is so good. And it feels a little bit nostalgic because it was made in this prime era of like the Y2K slashers, and oh my god, it feels nostalgic. It feels nostalgic to watch, even though this is my first time even knowing about the existence of this movie. Yeah, this is one where I feel like if more people start giving it more attention, then I don't know, is that something that could be considered a cult classic? Because it started out not really being a hit. Like, I'm sorry, I've been in the horror community for a long time. I've never heard anybody talk about Valentine. And even though the slasher himself doesn't look that great, you know what is great about this movie? The kills. The kills are actually really good, and there are some suspenseful moments in it as well. I feel like a lot of the kill setups were really clever. Now there were some that were set up and I thought it was gonna go one way and it went another. I never picked up on what her name was, but the girl who is harassing two of the characters, their names are Campbell and Dorothy. There's this other girl who is like harassing them, but really she's kind of a girl's girl because she's trying to warn Dorothy, like, hey, you're with this love scammer.
He loves your trust fund.
She's trying to warn you. Anyway, it's that character. But there's a moment where she's in the sauna and she's like underneath the booths, and I was really hoping it was going to be like a sauna kill. It's not. She ends up walking out of there just fine, but there's a lot of suspense around that scene that's really good. Her kill still ends up being good, but I wish she had done it in the sauna. One of the better examples of how there's some real moments of suspense within Valentine is the opening kill. Like, the opening kill is so good. As soon as I started watching it, I was just like, oh my god, this is like... The vibes of this movie took me back to being a middle schooler in my bedroom after a fucking Blockbuster trip with some kind of whatever slasher that I'm about to sit down and watch. That's how the opening kill felt to me. And it was... yeah, it's a generic slasher, but it's nice. It's cute. Is it weird for me to call a slasher movie cute? Valentine's cute. It's a cute little slasher movie. I will say, the best kill of the whole movie is Paige's kill. I know I have a little clip of it right here, but that's not what the whole kill is. Her death scene is like actually a horrifying situation to be in, and it gives me a little bit of anxiety, but still, all of the deaths are just, I don't know, I like them. Like, there's nothing that I would exactly call boring about this movie. I think all the kills were fun. Some of them were really unique and clever. There's a kill with an iron. Is it just called an iron? A clothing iron? That's pretty brutal, and I like that one a whole lot. I want to take that kill, tear it off this movie, and put it in a little file in my brain. So as I mentioned at the beginning, this is a whodunit slasher. You know what else did that? Pink version. As I said in the summary, all the girls that are being stalked and killed believe that the killer might be a nerd that they rejected at a Valentine's Day dance like 13 years ago, because all of these suspicious Valentines that they're getting are signed at JM, and this nerd's name, I guess, was Jeremy Melton. There are several suspects on who the identity of this Jeremy Melton could be. For example, I mentioned that one of the suspects is just straight up a serial killer that's already on the loose and kind of has nothing to do with these girls. However, his initials are JM, and he comes up a few times. Another, as I said, is the love scammer, who is constantly having different names. So potentially JM might be one of the pseudonyms that he's using. And then you could be like me, who, for sure, I don't know why I thought it the first time I watched it, but I went through the whole movie the first time I watched it just being utterly convinced that Jeremy Milton is none of the suspects. Like, he is his own different person. He's not the serial killer or the love scammer or the boyfriend or the girl or anyone. He's his own person and not actually any of the suspects. I'm not sure why I thought that, but I was convinced that he was just his own person. But with all of the suspects, what I really liked is each suspect they each have pieces of evidence throughout the movie as to why it would be them. Like, there are plants throughout the movie that are like, oh, it would make sense why this could be the killer because of this piece and this piece. So, for example, one of the suspects is Dorothy. And, like, listen, there are sussy things that she does throughout the movie, okay? There are some very sus things she does. Like, why is she the only person who remembers this little background detail of the mask, the same exact mask being used at that dance 13 years ago? Is that not sus? Is that not a little bit sus? Also, there's some just off-the-cuff people who die who have technically wronged her specifically. And then I don't know why, but I really love the detail that, like, hey, one of the suspects could just be the serial killer that's already on the loose that has the same exact initials. I loved that just a random other serial killer they're already looking for could be the suspect too. It was fun. It was a little bit Scooby-Doo. I loved the vibe of the whodunit in this slasher. And there's like 2 or 3 twists back to back at the end. Maybe I was just inebriated. Every single time I was, whoa, that's crazy. I wasn't expecting that. And who the killer ends up being, I genuinely was not expecting. It was fun, man. It was fun. It was clever. I liked all the little details that they had. Now, that's really all that I have to say about this movie. It's not a very deep movie, so it's not like there's very much I can say about Valentine other than, you know, just I thought it was very decent. I think this is such a nice little decent slasher movie that should get more attention. So if you are looking for a horror movie to watch this Valentine's Day, and if you've never heard of Valentine like me, consider renting it and checking it out. It's a solid little cute slasher flick. I don't care if I'm calling a slasher flick cute. It's cute. I think this is just a cute little movie. It has some good death scenes. The appearance of the slasher could be improved upon. Also, I forgot to mention, I think, the middle of the movie does get super slow. The middle of the movie is really slow, and it's really focused on the drama of the relationships between some of the characters. But hey, so what tier am I going to be putting Valentine from 2001 in? I'm gonna place Valentine in the B tier. B for Will You Be My Valentine? Listen, it's not an A. I'm not crazy over it. I don't know how often I would end up rewatching this movie, but it was really good and I did enjoy it. I do think it deserves more attention. It's cute. It's a simple little whodunit slasher with some really good death scenes in it. The story was pretty good. I liked the twist. It's all around decent. I think I could understand the argument that some people might find this movie either predictable or too copycat-like, and I completely understand that. I could see that about this movie. However, for me, I liked it. I liked the vibe. It felt nostalgic. It felt like just a true golden era slasher. It had the same vibe as a lot of Y2K era slashers. So if that's your vibe, really check this one out. It was awesome. And with that, we have finished another movie review. Thank you guys so much if you sticked around until the very end. Be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think about this movie. Editor Rachel here one last time. Actually put in the comments if you went to see Heart Eyes. I'm curious if that one's gonna be good. Let me know if you saw Hard Eyes. Let me know if it's worth the watch. Put some heart emojis in the comments too. It is Valentine's Day. Heart it up in the comments. If for any reason, do it for my Melody. Send my Melody hearts. Again, if you ended up liking this video, please give me a like. It is a free, easy way to support the channel. Consider subscribing if you'd like to see more content from me. Every like and every subscribble is appreciated. Did I just say subs? Okay. If you couldn't tell, I specialize in horror. I like to cover B-movies and disturbing cinema the most, but we do trickle into other things, such as this week with a Hollywood horror movie. I haven't streamed for a while. I actually don't know if I'm gonna stream on YouTube or Twitch. I'm just gonna put both my YouTube and Twitch right here. If you are ever interested in live streams in the future, I'm gonna be doing it on one of these two. I don't know which one yet, and I've been busy lately, so I haven't gotten to jump on stream for a while. But when I do, I will be focusing on doing art streams. And then right here are just some more socials that you can find me at if you're interested. Thank you so much for your time and for watching this video. Time is precious. We don't have very much of it, so I appreciate that you have used some of your time to watch my video and watch me ramble about this cute little Valentine's Day slasher movie. I really appreciate it, and I appreciate you. If I don't see you in the live streams, I'll see you in the next video. Until then, have a good night and be safe out there.
You still want me to wax it?
Yes, I do. Ah!